Today I want to talk a bit about the skills that we use as a succession ranger and why we use them and why they are good and why they are not. I am not going to go over every single ability. I'm going to take our cores and what's most important to know. So whenever you guys out there makes new ranger and you want to level up and try this class, feel free to use these abilities that I'm going to talk about today because they are your core abilities. The first ability I want to talk about today is the Razor Wind. Razor Wind gives you forward guard. It's very good to stay defensive, and that's why people also use the add-on on it to recover HP. This makes Razor Wind a very good defensive ability to use. It's a good poke ability to stay safe with a forward guard, and it's a good PvE skill as well because you can use it to tank a bunch of mobs if you are a bit squishy in the area that you are grinding. You use it by simply pressing the E button. It is that simple, and you can see on my little sign here I have a forward guard all the way through it, so whatever's coming your way you're gonna tank it with your forward guard. The next skill that I want to talk about is the Charging Wind. Charging Wind is an okay skill. It is not one of your mainest skills anymore. The reason I want to mention it though is that I use it for proccing my add-ons. Technically what you do is you shift right click with this skill and it's going to charge up. It's going to give you super armor, so that's good. The problem is you usually don't have time to stand still and charge this skill up. What I use it for personally is I use it to proc my add-ons down here. So you can do this without charging it up. You just press a shift mouse button instantly and you proc them. That's what I use this skill for. The next skill that I want to talk about is the Prime Extreme Charging Wind. This skill is a lot combined with the skill up here. This skill you use not as a skill by itself, but to cancel out other shots. You can use this by pressing spacebar after other abilities. One of them is your Charging Wind that I just showed you before. Let's take that as an example. You shift, you right click, you charge it up, and then I press spacebar after I let this shot go. Bam, shotgun. You can also use this skill by pressing left mouse button, press spacebar while walking to the side. Usually I would say press W2 because this skill is gonna push you back, but left mouse button, let's take D and spacebar, and then A, D, A, D, A, D, basically whenever I want to go. That's why I usually use W as well, because W is gonna keep you more forward. It's not gonna knock you as long back as without W. The next skill I want to talk about is Prime Evasive Explosion Shot. Prime Evasive Explosion Shot you use to get out of sticky situations. You use it to get away from players. You use it to get out if there's mobs all around you. You use it to reposition yourself. It's a mobility skill. It looks like this. You can use it one side, you can use it the other side, you can use it backwards. You cannot use it forwardly, not until later with another skill that I'm going to mention soon. But you can basically use it to the sides as much as you want here. And you can use it backwards. You're going to see Rangers is going to spam this all over the place. One thing that is kind of important, it might be a bit more advanced, but I'm going to explain it quickly anyway. The differences on these two is that the Prime version is used more as a PvE ability, where the Absolute is used more as a PvP ability. The reason for that is iframes. This one down here gives you iframe every time the ability is off cooldown, where this one up here gives you an iframe every second time that you use it. So this one here, one time it gives you an iframe. Now it's on cooldown, so I can't get it again before it is off cooldown. Where if you take the other one here and I take the Absolute version, you will see that I get an iframe every second time here. Every second time I use it, I get an iframe. And this is very effective in PvP, but it's not as effective in PvE. So that is the reason why I think about 90% of people take this one in PvP, and this one down here is way more for PvE. In my case, if you ask me, I actually use the Prime version for both because I really like the extra mobility you get from this one. This one up here gives way less mobility than this one gives, but it gives you more iframes. So it's kind of a choice. Do you want iframes or do you want mobility? Alright, the next skill that I want to talk about now is Tearing Arrow. Tearing Arrow is a very good skill in PvP, and it's a good skill in PvE. After the latest update, this skill is actually doing a lot of damage in PvE as well as in PvP. PvP, this is our highest damage ability in the game for a single target, and there is a few things that is important about it. To use it, you press down and E, and then you're gonna let it charge up down here. You see that little charge bar, and then you're gonna release it. There's a few things to know about this skill. It's unprotected, so you are kind of in danger if someone is rushing you down while you use it, so beware of that. The other thing is you can actually cancel this skill out with some other abilities that makes it do way more damage, like we talked about before with spacebar on charging wind. You can cancel this ability too by doing the skill and then press spacebar to do shotgun. The next ability I want to talk about is Blasting Gust. Blasting Gust is one of our most used abilities. You use it for mobility, you use it for damage, you use it to pull mobs, you use it for a lot of things. You can basically use it by pressing Q, but that's gonna take you a little animation there and then shoot it. That's not how you primarily use it. You use it by pressing Q, left mouse button, and go to the side, or going forward or backwards. You can use it in any direction, but Q, D, left mouse button in this case. And you can hold them down, so you do a lot of them, and you can do it both sides here. You can do it forward, you can do it backwards. Any way you want to go, you can use this ability. The good thing about this skill for PvP is that it's a knockdown, so you can basically knock down. You see, if that guard is a player, I could use this skill to knock him down from afar. But enough about the Blasting Gust. Let's talk a bit about the Ultimate Blasting Gust. Ultimate Blasting Gust is basically what I call a PvE ability. This ability is only good in PvP whenever you are like medium range and you want to use an ability that is somewhat protected, because this one has super armor. The damage in PvP is not that good, but the damage in PvE is pretty damn good, and it covers a very large area. The way you trigger this, technically it is by pressing Q, using that, and then keep holding left mouse button down. But personally, I prefer to use it down here on my hotbar, because you skip the animation from your Blasting Gust and you can use it a lot faster. So instead of going up to a target and press Q, wait for the animation and then be able to fire it, basically you can go up to your target and just press your hotbar down here, go straight into the ability that you intend to use and fire it. The next ability I want to talk about is Will of the Wind. It is mostly used to do additional down attack, as it has more damage against the knockdown target. It is mostly used to proc your add-ons, as it will burn your stamina and it will burn your mana at the same time. So it is very cost heavy to spam it. So basically I use it to proc my add-ons, and sometimes if I have spare stamina, I might use it to deal damage to a target that is knocked down. Technically you proc it by pressing Shift Q, but that's not how you really use it. The way you really use it is by going to the side at the same time. It is way more efficient than standing still and pressing Shift Q. In this game you have to be moving all the time. Shift Q, press left mouse button and go to the side and hold it down like this. If you want to spam it, hold it down. If not, you can do it once too, like this. The next ability we're going to talk about is the Penetrating Wind. Penetrating Wind is basically like Shotgun. It is an ability that you use to cancel out of other abilities to do more damage. You can technically put this one down on your hotbar and just press 1 here and it works. Technically you can do that, but that's not how it's meant to be used. A good example of this is a Tearing Arrow. Shift right mouse button is gonna stop my Tearing Arrow and shoot a Penetrating Wind, and then I can follow up with a spacebar for a shotgun. So I cancel a skill out, and that skill I cancel out with another skill. I'm gonna try it here. This one is Tearing Arrow. I'm gonna shift right mouse button and spacebar. Then I use all of these skills in a row. That is the highest damage combo single target PvP that you can do. Is tearing arrow, charge it up, and cancel it out with a penetrating wind and shotgun. Another example for penetrating wind to be cancelled out of another ability is a razor wind. With razor wind, you press E, right, and then you press shift right mouse button as you fire, and then when you stop firing, you're instantly gonna use penetrating wind. So you might as well, and then you can use shotgun straight after it as well, right here. Just like the tearing arrow combo, this one you can just hold shift right mouse button as you shoot it, and it will use it at the end of your razor wind. Where with tearing arrow, you can cancel the tearing arrow at any point that you want to. Right here, I can instantly cancel it out if I want to. Where with this one, I have to channel it over and then it shoots. Okay, to quickly go over our most famous kick cancel combo. We have a kick cancel combo, the combo that you use to one-shot squishy targets from a range. You need this flow sharp feather ability, and you need this kick down here. You don't have to level this up like I did. I just have too many skill points, man. But you just need it to be not locked. To do this, technically what is happening is you kick a target, and as you kick a target and hit the target, you can instantly press shift left mouse button to trigger the penetrating wind. Like this one, F here, and instantly shift left mouse button. You can do this from a melee, but obviously we are rangers, we don't want to go into melee. So what do? We do it from a range. Oh wait, that doesn't work. You can't do this from a range because you need to register a target on a hit, and the kick is melee, so you can't do it from a range. So what you're gonna do instead is you're gonna use blasting gust. When you use blasting gust and then kick into the air, and then you can do penetrating wind combo. Basically, Q, kick, penetrating wind. Q, kick, penetrating wind. That is our kick cancel combo that we use to one-shot squishy targets. One thing that is happening a lot in PvP is that someone is chasing you, and you're gonna have to damage this guy, right? You are most likely using your blasting gust away from the guy like this. That means that your blasting gust hits the guy, and you can turn that into a kick cancel combo. So if he is chasing you away, you do like this, and then you kick cancel whenever you find the gap for it. This, if this guy is squishy, this is gonna kill him. This video is gonna be way too long if I don't break it up into 2 parts. That's why I'm gonna wait here, stop here, and hold on, and I'm gonna make a part 2 if you want to see the rest of the skills that I explained for you, how to use it and when to use them and why to use them. Tune in to part 2 of this video.